All right, we have a new custom build. So, quick backstory, Callaway, we launched the Quantum line. We started off the fitting season at one of the nicest country clubs here in Las Vegas. That place is called the Summit Club. That day it was so windy and cold that we had to go inside into the instruction bay to do our fittings because it wouldn't have been smart just to go outside and that stuff. It would have been crazy. So we had some downtime talking about golf and today's industry and, you know, product launches and all this. And the gentleman walks up. And to all the Chicago Cubs fans out there, Dexter Fowler.
Deep right, and it will go. The center,
he walks up and he started talking about custom building. And I was like, this dude's about it. This dude's a nerd. You know, he started saying he went down the rabbit hole of club building, swing weighting, what D5 feels like, what D0 feels like. You know, we started talking about, you know, line goals based on the way a person swings and so forth and so forth, right? And so we started talking about shafts and, you know, what I typically see with baseball players and, you know, what shafts that I would recommend based on tempo, speed, tendencies, you know, shot dispersions, you know, so forth and so forth, okay? And he currently plays a pretty low launch, low spin shaft already, and he plays the C-Taper, the KBS C-Taper 130X, which is a telephone pole for the people that don't know what that shaft profile is. It is a beast. And so for a fun backup set, we decided to do the XSevens, and then I explained to him the whole ordeal with wedge shafts and how, you know, if you put the S400 iron shaft into your wedges, you essentially have a 9-iron shaft in your wedges, which is a different step pattern. So I gave him the scoop on wedge shafts, right? The Modus has a wedge shaft that's pretty consistent, and then Project X, the one that I use. Just some quick specs that we are going to build this set off of. His lengths are a 1/2 inch over from the MC 502 Miura iron lengths, so 37.5 7-iron. And then we build from there. And then his wedges are also Miura's. We're obviously going to adjust according to the lengths. Swing weight, the goal, we're going to pre-swing weight and measure everything, but the goal is to stay around D3, D4 at max. And his line goals, they're adjusted, but for the most part, they are 1 degree upright from the MC 502 standard line goals. Lofts, we're keeping them standard from the MC 502. And the wedges will be 50, 55, 60. He plays the 52, 56, and 60. So we'll adjust the lofts accordingly. So let's get into it. I love building golf clubs. This is so fun. And yeah, enjoy. Okay, so here are the pre-swing weights with no ferrule or epoxy. So 4 through P, we're sitting around C8, C9, and then the wedges are D3, around D3. So the goal with the irons, 4 through pitching wedge, is to land with the ferrule and non-epoxy at D2, because typically adding epoxy We'll bump it up to about 1 swing weight, so that'll land the irons at D3. And then wedges, we'll just apply the necessary epoxy to get to D4. So let's do it. D3, baby. Okay, these are all glued, cut to length. They measured out perfectly. Irons are D3 and wedges are D4. Pretty freaking excited to see the finished product here. But yes, 24 hours. We'll be back. Another proud build here. Swing weight from pitching wedge through the 4-iron, D3. The lightest swing weight was the 4-iron, which is good. D2.7 or 8, which I love seeing that, because obviously the long irons we typically want lighter. The wedges are D4. So, man, really proud of this one. They're a ½ inch over from the Miura MC 502 standard lengths. We're 1 degree upright on this build across the board, and lofts we kept them standard with the MC 502s. The wedges are 50, 55, and 60. Yeah, I mean, this is perfect. Thank you for watching.